And I hope you all had a wonderful evening yesterday. Okay, what I'm making is a meatloaf today, but I want to stuff it with mushrooms and spinach. I did it before and it didn't quite come out, so I'm going to do it a little different today to show that you can take recipes and change them. I followed it before, and this time we're going to make a mushroom sauce to go on top of this as well. All right, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan. All right, you need 2 shallots chopped fine, better known as minced, okay? Now, you're going to need 10 ounces of mushrooms, and this is where I'm at now because I was defrosting my spinach in a hurry. You know, that sounds like me. I have to cut the bottom off. I washed them, but I didn't trim this off yet. We're going to chop these mushrooms up too. A whole package, a 10-ounce package. I'm using the brown ones instead of the white ones this time because I want more of a woodsy flavor. I'm thinking about making biscuits, but I want to make potato biscuits, which are very unique. And good morning, everybody. Jacob. We're making a meatloaf that's going to be stuffed with mushrooms and spinach. Some people like to pull the stem off. I'm not. Yeah, it sounds like a nice dish, so why not? So that's what I'm thinking about serving with it are actually biscuits, potato biscuits, which will have scallions and other stuff in it. I don't know yet, but that's where I'm leaning right now. All right, we have to put you here. I don't have room to do all of these. So if you don't want more of an earthy flavor, use the white mushrooms. It's a choice for you to make. So I wrote to Amazon and I ordered a 9x6 loaf pan, which is the size that I need. And they sent me a 9x5 again. I said, this is really great. So I'm going to use the biggest one I have and hope I can pull this off again. Well, if you like mushrooms and you like different kinds of food, Jacob, I'm sure you'll enjoy it very much. But if you're very contained and only eat, like my father was very picky about his food, then you might not like it. A mother should be very versatile in her cooking with vegetables and fruits and meats and stuff. And the children will have a very good taste bud. And if she uses seasonings, that will help. Little girls are not just out of the chute knowing exactly what they're going to do. All this was just a lot of training. And then you have to learn to set the table inviting and other things. And the color scheme that you're going to use. So you think about it, ladies, if you're watching. Your whole cooking is an art form. And enticing your family. I know families don't eat together. Well, mine doesn't. Everybody's working crazy hours. Maybe someday it'll be normal. Hi, Ethan. Dukin, okay. It's a meatloaf, but it's going to be stuffed with spinach and mushrooms, just to be different. And then we're going to make a mushroom gravy to go over it. And I'm thinking about making potato biscuits. Okay, that's half of them. Put those in a bowl. The 2 shallots you put in a separate bowl separately. Right now we're prepping for this stuffing, and then we'll be prepping to get the meatloaf going, and then we'll be prepping and getting the sauce going. But right now the prepping is all going for the stuffing. I'll just turn it upside down and do it. It'll be easier. Oh yeah, I can do that too, cut myself. Okay. Oh, your wife's allergic to them? Black? Okay. AJ? Oh, it seems we have the trolls back on. They don't leave well enough alone. Again, I'm going to throw it on the floor too. So we have 3 things we're going to be doing here. We're making the stuffing first, then we're going to make the meatloaf, and then we're going to make the gravy that goes on top of it. And I just, you know, just because it's such a lovely dish, that's why I'm going in the direction of potato biscuits, I think. And I even bought scallions to make sure I could do that. Now, I showed you how to make biscuits, a very basic recipe. Now, when you start making these other ones, we're going to be changing the ratio some, but I always figured if you're going to learn to make bread, and this is how I was taught. I learned to make biscuits first because they're very easy to make. All you have to do is get those measurements down right and correct and measure them correctly. Like, never use a liquid measuring cup for dries and never use dry for liquid. They're built specifically to make sure that you get the right amount. If you ever use a liquid measuring cup, which has a spout, and you use that for dry ingredients like flour and sugar and stuff, you have to shake it to level it off. And that's when you start packing more than the recipe requires. And the reason you don't use a dry for the liquid is when you go to pour it, you spill it. So you want to keep those measurements. Like when I started cooking, I had to learn measurements, follow instructions until I learned. Thank you, Michael. Okay. I don't want the peelings. I want to store those peelings. Okay. Now, am I going to add this in at the same time? Okay. So flat parsley, we need 2 tablespoons. To me, I don't care what parsley it is, flat or curly, as long as it's parsley. And we need 2 tablespoons chopped. Knowing me, I usually add more. Okay, this is going to go after. We'll put this here because I need that. I don't know where you can get a 9x6 loaf pan. Ordered twice, and all what I get is 9x5. Because I did go to Amazon, and it did say 6x5. No, 9x6, but I ended up getting a 9x5, which I was frustrated about, but what more can I do? All right, now they want, well, if you have, thank you, Richard. And I didn't have that. They want 8 ounces of fresh spinach, cleaned and chopped. Well, you want it chopped, I'm bloody well going to use frozen. I heated it up. I'm going to drain it, and I'm going to weigh it because they want exactly 8 ounces. If you go over 8 ounces, this is not going to fit. Okay, we got the parsley. Let me put this here. And I'm going to have to squeeze this out. And then we'll weigh the scale. Because water is going to give me extra weight, and then I won't get the right measurement. Okay, we're going to weigh this. Let me get my scale. They're not going to see the weight. I'm going to read the weight. 8 ounces. But if you have fresh spinach, they want it 8 ounces spinach. They want it cleaned, trimmed, and chopped. Mine's already gone through those stages, so I'm just weighing it now. Do you know my store doesn't even carry orange juice in it, frozen orange juice? I don't know what Jenny's talking about. I just said I hope everybody, you know. All right, I took the fluid out and it's less than 8 ounces. Good. Okay, I can deal with that. A little less won't bother me. All right. Is there anything, what goes in with the spinach here? All right, put your parsley with the spinach. Start getting stuff together. I know I'm going to be chopping again shortly. And we're going to put some nutmeg with this. Spinach and parsley. Look, I got it up. I know I did. Where did I put it? Oh. When they say a pinch, that's usually a 16th, an eighth, I mean, and that's about, it's a half of a fourth of a teaspoon. So you just want a little just to enhance it. Let's see if I've got everything done for this part. All right, they want some salt and pepper. They do not tell you how much salt to put with your spinach and parsley and nutmeg, but put some spinach there. Don't worry, we'll be getting it all in there. Mine is a salt mixture that I make. And they want pepper, so I'll have to grind some pepper up. And they don't tell you the pepper either, so you're pretty much on your own when it comes to salt and pepper on this recipe. I have some that actually do that. Good morning, Jody. McCase, Estate, Snipper. We're making a meatloaf. Thank you, Isaiah. I can't cook and clear people up off of this thing. My hands are busy. So if you see something, you can delete it. You have my permission. I'm not going to disagree with you. All right. I think we're ready to move forward on this. All right. This is all, remember, this is all for the stuffing. We haven't even gotten to the meatloaf and what we're going to be doing with that. So I'm going to have to move you over here and move my book. You're going to have 2 tablespoons and we're going to melt them in a saucepan. Okay? Then we'll have the front of the apron. Okay, here it is. The steak. This is the whole apron. That's it. Just like any other apron. It's got long handles. If you're real large, I love these. If you're real large, you can tie it in the back. If you're smaller, you can tie it in the front. So if you're pregnant, you don't have to worry about it. You can use these aprons. And where did I get it? I got it at Amazon. Oh, come on, Sandra. Okay, we're going to melt this butter. We're going to put the shallots in, the 2 shallots I told you about, okay? All right, so here are my shallots, 2 whole ones. Not a part of one, they said 2 whole ones. I said, okay. All right, so we're melting the butter now. Let's see if I can turn you. Have it over a medium heat. That's what I'm waiting for. Once this is melted, we'll start moving forward. Okay. Now you're going to be using a medium-low heat because the shallots can burn very quickly, so we're going to have to be careful how we do this, okay? Good night, Estate. Uh, that's true. A lot of people, they microwave and do things like this. I tell you, when I grew up, the boys had to learn to repair and everything else, and mend things, well, repair things, I should say, in the house. My mother, she had to know how to sew and cook, can, and everything. And when we went to the hunting camp, all these skills were very, very important. I also had a father who was a hunter, and a husband who also hunted. Now the shallots are going in first. We're going to saute the shallots, which will take about 3 minutes. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and start adding other ingredients and cook them down, and we'll dry the mushrooms out in their time. But all of these are being done at different times because if you do the mushrooms, you'll be boiling the shallots. If you don't cook the mushrooms down, you'll be boiling the spinach and stuff, and then you end up with more fluid. This is why you're doing everything in steps. Who? Yes. So yeah, I grew up at a time when all that I learned. My mother taught me to sew, crochet, knit, embroidery. I'm not real good at it, but I love the designs. I do all of that with other skills as well that I have. I was trained. Spent a lot of time learning. Remember, this is medium-low heat. You don't want to burn these little things because they wanted them minced, so you can see they're really small. You can see how small they are, shallots. So what's the difference between an onion and a shallot? A shallot has a garlicky onion flavor, whereas onions are just onions. So you can use these. This is why salads use this a lot. A meatloaf. I store mine in the refrigerator, and I try to use them as much before the end of the week because they do go bad easily. Especially this refrigerator is giving me such a problem. I'm so tired of it. But I hate all these computerized things anyway. Give me a good gas range, I can do quite well. Well, it smells good. And all the time I was learning all that, I was punished all the time. There was so much to do. I didn't learn to, the kind of crafts that women do today. They buy things and then they make them. No, my mother'd come with the material or the thread and give me the equipment that I need. And that's how I did it, so my hands were busy. I love Armenian needle lace. And I finally found some books, they call it knotted lace. And I'm hoping to learn to do that. Now I'm stirring these around so they don't burn while I'm pre-cooking them. Or sautéing, if you wish to say. Now, we're going to be adding the mushrooms in a little bit. And we are going to cook them until they're dry, almost dry completely. Now I am making a meatloaf stuffed with mushrooms and spinach. And then we're going to make a mushroom sauce to go over it. And I want to serve it with biscuits when it's done cooking because it's got to rest about 5-10 minutes. I want to make potato biscuits to go with it. I think I'm going to serve it with zucchini. And what else do I want to serve it? Well, there's so many vegetables in this. Zucchini would be just about right. Which is actually green squash for those of you who don't know what it is. Okay, now these have to dry out. We'll let this do what it has to do, and we get a break. All right, you're going to need 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. So go ahead and measure it and put it to the side. Now to the sour cream, add 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm not going to use complete breadcrumbs. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs and 2 tablespoons of wheat germ. So if you want to do it that way, you can. That will cover for the B vitamins that I'm concerned about. Make sure I cover them. I saw a very interesting program about what birth control does to a female body. It destroys 5 to 6 vitamins, B's, and I'm saying, but those are I had to go on it, and after 6 months I got off of it. The doctor said I needed it because I had a hormone imbalance when I was younger, but I didn't take it. I didn't like it. I didn't like taking that. You see, we have water in here. We have to get rid of that water. As usual, nowhere. So to the sour cream, the way I'm making it is 2 tablespoons of wheat germ and 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. If you don't have wheat germ or don't like it, just add 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. And my breadcrumbs are made from the breads that I make sourdough. Okay, now you're going to add the parsley, the spinach, salt and pepper and nutmeg and that we put together here. We have to cool this before we can add the sour cream or the breadcrumbs. And if you're making it like I'm making it, it'll be the wheat germ, breadcrumbs, and sour cream. Okay, we're done. Okay, we're coming back over here again. See, I have mine waiting now for the breadcrumbs, the mushrooms and spinach to cool down. Okay, put this over here. Now we need to bring my book back over here so I don't have to run back and forth. I'm going to have to cook again. Like everything's going to have to cool first. Okay. We're going to need the cutting board again. We are actually going to cut an onion. We need one onion finely chopped. Get a bowl and put it in. Where did I put it? Okay. Because it's a stuffing. And we have to put sour cream and into it, and you'll separate the sour cream, so we have to let it cool so we can do that. That's the stuffing that we made. Oh no, you're turning into skin here. I know we had a cool winter. No, it's a mushroom sauce that's going to go over a meatloaf that is stuffed with spinach and mushrooms. Yes, it is, baby. Corn husk. Yes, socks. Karen? Oh, mangoes are delicious. Mango butter is very good. I hope to do that and then end up making mango muffins with them. I have more fun with the combinations I come up with of muffins. I am. So I want to make, I think, mango, where mangoes are on sale. I'm going to sit there and make a butter out of them, and then sit there and proceed during autumn, see what we can come up with. Right now I have one with cantaloupe butter that I'll be making soon. I'm just giving you guys a bit of a grape. I was having fun making muffins. And today, if I have time, I hope to make those vanilla white chip cookies. And by the way, I'm going to explain to you what a lace cookie is so you'll know it. And I was right, it does need oats in it. I knew, I thought so. But the recipe said, no, this is the best. Yeah, right. If you want to make lace cookies, you can't add anything because they can't hold any nuts or fruit or anything else. But I'll show you what a lace cookie looks like so you have a good idea. Because I have a lace cookie recipe. I don't use it because I'm not overly fond of lace cookies, but I do know how to make them. All right, this onion in the bowl, and we'll do the other half and get the rest of the stuff. It has to be sauteed before we put this together. That's right, we're going to actually be cooking some of this before we actually put it together. Okay. I was listening to a program. Yeah, I listened to some interesting ones. And I'm glad I do. Because I had questions. You know, the way they say Christ was tortured and everything, I did not know to the extent of it. He was literally just about beaten, skinned alive. And then he lost over half his blood. And then he had to walk that trail. And then he had to hang up on the cross. They weren't happy. And then at the final, he's dead. And they still have to stab to make sure he's dead. After all they put him through. And he did nothing wrong for any. He helped everybody. All he did was speak the truth. I was listening to a thing on dinosaurs. I love the way they have all these people thoroughly convinced we're millions and billions of years old. But they're finding big petrified trees, huge trees. And when they cut them open, they have no rings. And you know that's how trees age. They develop rings every year. I thought that was quite interesting. You know. Okay, that goes with the rest of the onion. Let's see what else goes in here or what doesn't to separate it all. We'll get to the oven in a minute. All right, so I got the olive oil, that. Add the garlic. I need another saucepan. All right. Where's the garlic? How many do you want? They want 2 garlics. Just 2? Okay. You know what? I'm going to put 3 in. That's an easy way to peel the garlic. And then just cut the end off where it hooked up to the head. Okay, this one's really smashed. So you can put the garlic in a separate bowl because it cannot go in while you're sauteing the onions because they will burn. Okay. And garlic saute within a minute or two, whereas onions take longer. That's why they want you to do the garlic after you get the onions started. When they say minced, they mean finely chopped. Has anybody ever made a veal hamburger? A meatloaf stuffed with mushrooms and spinach. Remember, the garlic is not going to be the main flavor in this meatloaf. This meatloaf's main flavor is going to be the mushrooms because it's going to have a mushroom gravy on top of it as well, and the spinach. It's not that you overpower it, unless you have I have a special dish that's very strong with garlic. Of course, my father couldn't stand that, so my older brother would stay with Nanu when they had that dish for a week to get the garlic out, because my father hated the smell of garlic. All right, now then you want me to, all right, we need 1/4 of a cup of parsley now. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Come on, we'll get you all together in a minute. I want a little more than this. When they tell you to mince parsley, you have to remember the branches and stuff like this are very high. So you say that's more than 1/4 of a cup. But when you mince it and chop it really fine, it gets really small. Has anybody a happy? Oh, thank you, Hamza. Good morning, sweet elevator. Thank you. Happy Valentine's. Is today Valentine's Day? I think it is because all of you are saying I don't know what day of the week. I know it's Saturday. Sorry. I used to think about Valentine's Day because my husband would always come in with something for me. One time he came in with liquored cherries. You know those cherries that are stuffed with liquor, and then covered in chocolate? He brought that in. I didn't eat one of them. I said, I hate this candy. He says, women love this candy. Well, you got a wife that does not like it. I hate it. I had it one time. And I did not like the whole idea and concept of it. Like my father would buy chocolate bunnies that have this white creamy stuff in it. Didn't like that either. They did not know their daughter. Can this go in with the garlic? No, it can't. It's got to stay here. Okay. Garlic's going to stay on the cutting board. All right. Is there anything else you want me to chop in this while we're at this? No, I guess that's it. Okay. We need a frying pan now. Okay. They don't tell you what size, so we're only going to be doing the onions, the garlic, the parsley added into it, and then we're going to sit there and start putting this together. Move my book again. I don't need to find it. Okay. Do any of you have a complaint about YouTube television? Because I've thought about getting it, but I need some help here. I don't know how good it is. I mean, if you pay for the stations individually, it gets a little expensive. But they also say that YouTube television is becoming more like cable prices. Jerry, I hope he knows he's got to take you out. No, I would be cooking dinner. My husband would come in and he would say, I have something for you. And then I had to find it. Now they want a tablespoon. I gotta get you over here. We're back at the frying pan. Well, more than at the frying pan. We've got 2 points we have to work on. Okay. I don't even know if it's defrosted yet. Let's see if I can get a tablespoon out. Oh, we can. All right, that's 1 tablespoon. Let's put you back here. This was a good idea, putting you back here. Now, if your stuffing is cool, you put the sour cream and breadcrumbs and mix it up. I'm going to mix this up in a minute. I've got to get this going. There are too many things going at once this morning. I'm not up to it. Set your oven at 350 and make sure your shelf is in the middle. So I explained that already. Okay, we're going to put the onion in and saute them a little bit. We got that ready. That's our stuffing. As you can see, it's a good amount. Okay, thank you. Is Isaiah. All right, you can throw your garlic in now. Now garlic, you only saute for 30 to 45 seconds. You do not saute it any longer, because then the garlic starts to burn. Add the parsley. And it's turned off when I add the parsley. All right, this has to cool now. All right, we're back over here again. Sorry about this. You're getting moved all over the place. All right, in a small bowl, they want 2 eggs. I got a small bowl here. As you see, I'm using all my bowls up. And you're going to add to these eggs 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Now they want us to beat this completely up. Now if you want to get it beaten well, you hold your fork like this. If you hold it like this, you don't beat the air into it. When you beat it like this, it breaks those yolks up and stuff and blends them very, very well. Now if you want to, you can put it in a bigger bowl and use a whisk. That's well beaten. All right, put that to the side right now. Let me see, can I put my book back here again? Yeah, as soon as I clean it. I just want to read the last ingredient instead of going back and forth. Okay. Should be. All right. We're going to have to weigh again because they're exactly on the meat that they want. And I couldn't get the exact amount that I want. They want exactly 2 pounds. Okay? So that's what we're working with. 2 pounds of ground beef. And what kind is it? They want lean, high quality. All right. Where's my scale? This. Put that there. Okay. not even defrosted completely. Well, we'll take care of that. I have to. I don't even know if this is 2 pounds. Does that tell you? I am just so unsure of what I put in here at the time. I think it is. No, it's a little more than 2 pounds. That's what I thought. Okay, this can go back. I know, they tell you not to put it back in the freezer, but I'm going to. I didn't leave it out. Wow. All right, so you need 2 pounds. 2 pounds of ground lean. All right, what do you want me to add into this? Breadcrumbs. All right, they want a 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs, but I'm not going to do that. Now, these are my sourdough breadcrumbs. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs that I've made that are sourdough, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of wheat germ. Like I told you, I'm always working to try to make the dishes more nutritious for my family. If we can keep aches and pains and everything away. Hey, I don't like being old and in pain. I don't think anybody does. That's my personal opinion. But I think if you ask anybody who's got a body that's worn down, it's aching and all, they're not happy about that. We did that. Salt and pepper again. Right, they want 1 teaspoon of salt. This part tells us exactly what they want. All right, 1 teaspoon of salt. How much pepper do you want? 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, freshly ground. They say that if you buy your pepper and it's already ground, it's been on the shelf so long, it loses its flavor. And that's what chefs will tell you. I just have a mortar and pestle and I just can't see wasting it. So I use it. Because I go through the ground pepper much faster than the peppercorns. Oh, you watching them jump away from me. Thanks, Chris. I'm sure everybody appreciates that. No, it's no fun, Sherry. So I make everything as nutritious as possible. All right. Now we did that. What do you want me to do next? All right. With the onions. Okay. We're going to take the onion mixture and put it in here. All right. Those are cool enough. That's the Worcestershire we're adding. you. All right. They have proven that if you work the ground meat too hard, it's tough. So what we're going to do is mix all this together. So use your fingers instead of using your palms, pressing down. We want you to use your fingers. But I know when we go to shape it, we're going to have to press it hard. But make sure it's thoroughly mixed. You don't want breadcrumbs in one area and then not in the other. I have to read this part very carefully because we're getting ready to put this together. I want to make sure we do this right. All right, they want you to oil. They didn't say grease. They want you to use oil. A 9x6. I've ordered it, and all they keep sending me is 9x5. So they said add oil, and we're going to oil this. You saw how much stuff I had sitting over there. I had to sit there and take care of my drain board and put it up underneath the sink so I could sit there and bring everything out. They say lightly oil. That's why I'm using the brush. It gives me a nice level coat. Make sure you hit those corners. If you don't get into these corners, bread and everything sticks there. If they're going to stick, they're going to stick there. And if you don't catch right here on the edge here, it'll stick right there too. So make sure you do a really good job. Can't do it any better than that. So now what do you want me to do? Half of the meatloaf. Okay. Now, last time I did it your way, it didn't work, so I'm going to build a trench here. That's actually what I'm building, is a trench to put the stuffing in. I keep on thinking in my head, trench warfare. In other words, to keep the stuffing in this thing. God, what goes on in my head? But that was for World War One vets. They had to fight in the trenches. But that's what I think I'm doing right here. They might not have wanted me to do it this way. This is the safest way to do it. Okay, I made a trench. Okay, you see that? Because they want the stuffing to go in the middle of this. So I'm going to pack it into the trench. Why didn't they just say a trench instead of just doing it this way? I mean, they might as well tell you what they really want. They want a trench. I'm going to have to pack some meat up there on that side so it's in the inside. Okay, we're going to pack some of this right here. Yeah. What I'm actually doing is packing it now really tight so I can make it. I can only make it so tight and no more. Do you want me to cook this in this? That's what I'm asking. All right, we need bacon as well. We'll need 4 to 5 slices. As you can see, I patted it down really, really nice. And Ziggy, hi, good morning. All right, so we've got this here. And now we're going to get some bacon. Okay, that's not hot anymore. I know you guys are going to get upset with this. I'm going to cut bacon on this. But I don't have room in this kitchen. Set your oven to 350. Oh, take start, Sandra. You want 5 pieces of bacon. This is my wild boar bacon, so I know it's going to be good on this. Okay, they want 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start with 4. We'll see how we go from there. Oh, you just slid out, didn't you? Let's see. Well, we're going to cut them in half. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to cut them in half. You know, they want this everywhere. It's a little difficult. I guess this is where all the flavor is going to be. We'll just put it under there. No reason to waste it. Okay. Now, do you want anything on top of this, other than this? We have to get the internal temperature to 160 degrees in this meatloaf, and then it will be done. I'm going to put a pan underneath it because it's so packed. I don't know if grease is going to overflow, so I'm going to prepare for that automatically. I think I'm done with this. Okay, so we're waiting for the oven, and then we're going to put it on. Ziggy, it does sound good, doesn't it? Vera? Greetings, Sheldon from New York. He's in Iowa. I don't remember the mushroom, the potato biscuits need biscuits. Do they need bacon? I gotta think about that. I can't remember. Okay, when it gets up to 350, remember we have to get it the internal temperature. When you use a thermometer, a meat thermometer or anything, do not push it all the way down to the bottom here, because then you'll get a false reading down here. You have to, and you can't go on the edge. You've got to go directly in the center and go halfway down where you're at the center. Once you hit the center, then you'll get the right reading if it's done, because it's going to cook from the outside in and from the bottom and the top. But the part that won't be done, if you do it on the side or you go all the way down to the bottom, the middle will be raw. This is why you have to measure that way. To get that thermometer in there just right. Wait a minute, I have, where did I put that bag? Oh, good God, Sandra. That's your parcel. See you on the other side. I'm gonna make a stop now when this bag fills up. No, it's not a bacon pie. This is a meatloaf, a stuffed one. No, it is a meatloaf stuffed with spinach and mushroom. No, it's just going to be baked. Thanks. Thank you very much, Abby, for subscribing. Sheldon, a meatloaf? Yep, that's it. That's what we're having today. Okay. Step out along. Shoot, I don't have any. While it's cooking, we have to make the gravy. So we're going to need more chopping to do. But let me clean some of this. I don't think I need this anymore. Okay, we'll get this board clean and continue moving forward while we're waiting for the oven. Just rinsing my board off. And we'll get the stuff out and we'll start in again to make the sauce that goes over this. All right, what do we have to do? Once again, 8 ounces, okay. Another mushroom. All right, we're going to need more mushrooms. We're going to need heavy cream. Okay. I'm using bone broth instead of beef stock. I think it has more flavor. That's a personal opinion. So we need mushrooms. I got bone stock. Refrigerator to annoy me at times. Well, I don't have any sherry, so we're not going to have that. I've already used everything. Does anybody know something you can use in place of sherry? We need 8 ounces of mushrooms. Okay, this is 10. It'll be a little over. Okay. Thank you, Isaiah. All right, we need 8 ounces of mushrooms. Yeah, I had to buy a lot of mushrooms this week. It seems everything I wanted is Mushroom Valley. Look, they say this is 10 ounces. I'm running out of room here. Oh, just tell me to leave 3 mushrooms behind. Okay. Where did I put the, put it here. Get these mushrooms rinsed and get them going. All right. Thank you, Isaiah. Huh. Well, I have no sherry, white wine, or red wine. So I guess that shit, I'll just use stock. That's all right. I won't die from it. No, I ended up using all my wines. Okay, we're going to put this in now, the meatloaf. after 8, we'll check it, see what the temperature is. No, you said it right, white or red wine. I just don't have any of that. I didn't get to the liquor store this week to buy the things I need because I ran out last week of wine, but I'll just use the bone broth instead. I think that'll do. Bob, apple cider vinegar, where'd you get that idea? Thank you, Roke. Yeah, R-O-K, Roke. I can't Google right now because I'm using my phone. I don't have a television in my kitchen. That belongs in the living room or the playroom. Yes, it is, God. Well. Well, if I use apple cider vinegar and we ruin this, I'm going to look at you. I have apple cider. That I have. So we'll use that and see how this comes out. Isaiah, sometimes I can't remember everything, believe it or not. When you have over 200 cookbooks, and then you sit there and have other ones that people have given you, their private collection of recipes, I tell you, you forget. But the one thing as I was making those so-called chocolate chip cookies, they were not chocolate chip. Those were actually, I know exactly what she took out, because when you make chocolate chip, you need oatmeal cereal. I knew I was right. Deborah, I know that. But this was set for today, and I had to get home. And that's one thing you'll learn is that if you can't get all the ingredients, I change recipes all the time. I mean, I didn't use just plain breadcrumbs. I used my own sourdough breadcrumbs with wheat germ to make the food more nutritious. So substituting, sometimes you come out with a better dish. But if you're following chefs and what they do, they throw a lot of nutrients out the door. They say buy everything fresh, right? It doesn't work. I see some stuff and I can't even find it. It's nowhere in the store. So I have to sit there and substitute because I've got a dish coming up. I'm still looking for bass fillets. You know, I haven't found a place yet. And the one place I did find, he said they're too small. You don't want them. I mean, he's telling me, okay. So I'll wait for his decision, you know. And I promised you that months ago. I don't know why they're so hard to find. Sea bass fillets. But whatever. And I don't want to use cod. I am so sick of substituting cod for everything. And everybody keeps on saying, use cod. I don't want cod. So you have to. And because I make my food more nutritious and I show you how to do it, I'm changing the recipes. I'm not putting in what they tell me to put in. I'm going to put in what I want to put in to make it. I'm not concerned so much as, to get the perfect wine that costs $60 to $80 in a bottle. I can sit there and use my bone broth or my stocks, and I can come up with excellent flavor that is different, and it's not their recipe as soon as I do that. They say use white flour. I'll use whole wheat or whatever flour I have, and I have a lot of different flours, and I'll use it and substitute. I just found out that I can make buckwheat noodles. So I want to remake a dish and make buckwheat noodles to go with it and see how it comes out. I think it'll be interesting. Till it hits 160 degrees in the center, I'm going to check it in an hour. If it hits 160, then I got it. Now, the standard for meatloafs is usually 1 hour, okay? That's what they say. Okay, we got more chopping to... No, I didn't even look to see if I want them sliced or chopped. We want them sliced. Slice your mushrooms. As I make this, I wonder how it would taste with buffalo. Just going there. Like I'm thinking of making veal hamburgers this summer. Deborah, you don't seem to understand what this channel is about. This channel is literally about taking food and making it more nutritious. Now, I have my own recipes that I've shown. I show from the cookbook. I show people that if you have recipes, how to make them more nutritious. So please, don't get picky like that. This whole channel, if you've read all the information I put there, was literally to teach nutrition, to make foods more nutritional. And we talk about nutrition on this channel and what some vitamins and stuff do. Mankind does not know everything, but that's why it's done like this. So, do I make my own recipes? Of course I do, but I also sit there and change recipes to make them more nutritious. So if somebody wants to make a meatloaf, how can I make it more nutritious? They can see the little things that I do that are different, that they can do, and their health will be better. And that's why it's done like that. Yeah, doesn't it sound... Isaiah, doesn't that sound good? All right, so you're offended. So you think about it, if you make hamburgers, just think about it. You leave it out on a grill longer than 3 minutes on each side. I've seen people cook 30, 40 minutes. A hamburger's only that thick. How long do you think it's going to last in there? You're burning it. You're cooking the nutrients out. I sit there and I make, I'll add seasonings, but I want most people just sprinkle salt and pepper on it. I have different peppers that I might change the recipe. I will add wheat germ in, which causes the hamburgers to be a little more moist. Just be careful you don't add too much, but they hold a lot of moisture in, so your hamburger isn't dry. So, listen, there's a lot of things that people can do. I like making potato rolls for my hamburgers, and I mix grains up and everything else. So if you want the taste of the way the recipe is, because a chef did it, well, by all means, you can knock yourself out. But I've tasted a lot of bad food. Do I have to chop anything else? Yeah, we need one onion sliced. Okay. They don't even tell you what size, so it depends. Hi, Tim. Rock? Yes, Ham. It was Deborah who asked that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I know it's not as dry and as lean as venison, but I thought, we could try it. I could add some pork to it, mix it up, but I would still put some wheat germ into it, the ground meat with salt and pepper, to make sure that. Do you want this sliced in rings or half moons? Slice. Well, how do you want it sliced? Okay, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do half moons. Sometimes you have to think. Yeah, it's true. Anna, we do. We do. Williams? Deborah Williams? Oh my God. Deborah Williams, are you in Texas? And are you a teacher in a college? Because if you are, you're my girlfriend from my younger days. Okay, you want them sliced? Why am I throwing the peelings in there, Sandra? You want to save them. You want to make some more stock. I'm making half moon slices. They didn't say if they wanted them rings or not. So this is how I think they want it sliced. Carson, I've never heard that. Hi, Sky. Yeah, the holidays sort of caught me, and I didn't get back up on what I was supposed to be doing. I gave you a rundown of some things. It was a short video of some of the things that we're going to be making. I just ended up with a lot of trolls, so I just got off the line. I might have to lock that part up to keep them from doing that to me. Send it. Oh, just throw it on there. You should have put it in the bag. I didn't. Okay. All right, what do you want me to do with this? If we can get over here. Let's see if we can get over here again. No? Okay, well, we're not going to have biscuits with this. They want egg noodles with this. I said, okay, we'll have egg noodles. I didn't want egg noodles, but we'll have egg noodles. I'm just going to see what they want me to do here because they're not being as... All right, we're going to need butter in a saucepan. They said to... All right, let me get it. I don't know why do you want such a large pan? All right, I know that. Cook the mushrooms until the liquid is reduced by half. Then add the heavy cream. Well, that's only a cup. Add sherry. Well, that's a fourth of a cup. Okay. And cook for about 10 minutes. Do not let the sauce... All right, the sauce we're making cannot boil because it's got the heavy cream in it, and the heavy cream will curdle, so we've got to be extremely careful. Thank you, Sky. Carlson, no. I'm trying to figure this part out. All right. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter for this sauce that we're making. Where did I put that butter? Suffering and live the life of ease. Put that in the frying pan. 2 tablespoons. Like the same burner again, Sandra. And the book's got to go again. I cannot win for losing. Oh, come on. Wasting matches. So this afternoon, I'm hoping to get around to the cookies in between all the cooking and wash that I have to do. All right, we have to wait a minute. I'm going to need another cup. Okay. I gotta put this somewhere where I can go back and forth on this book. Okay. Let me get you over here. Yes, I did. I grew up in there. Thank you, Sky. Believe you me, I do make mistakes, though. I'm not perfect. Simmer on the sauce. Isaiah. Yes, I lived in Texas. I was born up north because my father was in the Navy. When he got out, he took us to Texas, and I finished growing up in Texas. Okay, let's see. We need this butter to melt, 2 tablespoons, so we can sit there and put the onion slices in here. So I made half moon. Oh yeah, it's fun to play with the butter. Yeah, I have fun with it. Let's say I just find a lot of fun. A lot of people don't understand. If you can't laugh and play, you're a sorry sap. You know, you have to be able to take that time to be, oh, shoot. Sorry about that. I forgot to charge my phone, so let me get the cord out of the way because it is next to the stove. Okay, I got it back there. Now we're going to put the onion in. So we're going to saute these, and then we're going to be adding the mushrooms and other stuff into it. And you're going to need heavy cream. We're going to have to salt and pepper the sauce going over, so I'm going to go ahead and start smashing up some peppercorns. I'm not sure yet. I haven't gotten to that part. There's a whole lot of steps that are taking me through on this. I didn't get that far. No, it's going to be bone broth, heavy cream, vinegar. I don't know. We'll find out. If it doesn't work, I won't be using it, that's for sure. No, there's no garlic. It's going to be, I'm using bone broth. They want beef stock, and they want sherry and heavy cream, with salt and pepper. After we're done sauteing these a bit, we're going to add the mushrooms in that we sliced. You see, this is a very mushroom dish. Now, somebody recommended using heavy cream in the cream of mushroom soup with sherry. And I said, that sounds interesting. Did Debbie leave us? I think she did, Isaiah. Oh, I love garlic, believe you me. I bought some black garlic, and they said you don't cook with so much as you eat it on the side. And I said, well, I'll try it this summer. So that'll be different. They said it has a milder flavor. I don't know. It's a first for me. If I really like it, I might try putting it with an omelet. You know, you just never know with me where I'm going to try something. It might not work or it might work. And by the way, that recipe with those cookies, I put a no on it. N-O with an exclamation in capital letters. Do not repeat this. It'll be around this afternoon. If I have time, I'm definitely going to be making those white chocolate chip cookies again. I knew inside of me there was something wrong with that recipe. But we'll talk about lace cookies and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, we have to wait till they get soft before we can do anything. You need 1 cup of beef broth if you're actually following your recipe ABC. Oh yeah, that's good, very good. Isaiah, I am going to do it today. I'm just hoping that I get my other work done, so as soon as I'm done here, getting this done, since they want egg noodles with it, and I can't do egg noodles, and I'm not going to serve zucchini with it, I'll serve broccoli with it then. And I'll do the broccoli and the linguine, the egg noodles later. We're done with the meatloaf. But they do recommend egg noodles with it. So I got the wide egg noodles to do it. You can imagine what this dish is going to look like when it's done. But see, if there's mistakes made, I want you to see that everybody can make a mistake in the kitchen, and you can get some recipes and it's not you. They made a mistake with the recipe. Whoever typed it out probably left something out, or somebody changed a recipe and messed it up and gave it the wrong name. They should have called these lace cookies, but they didn't. But I am definitely baking white chocolate chip cookies today. But I couldn't understand. I know chocolate chip cookies take a lot of butter, very standard. But I couldn't figure out why they were acting like lace cookies once I started cooking them. I started going through my head trying to remember. And sometimes that's a little difficult to remember because you have so much up there. Oh, come on. Now you know what that would be. A T-bone steak grilled, medium rare. Don't forget the steak sauce that goes on it with a baked potato. I always liked my baked potatoes with sour cream, bacon, chives, salt, and pepper on them. And on top of that, I always have a salad with mine. And for dessert, it would always be apple pie. That is my favorite meal, Isaiah. You want a recipe? I just gave you the meal. Now that's a Texas meal. Of course, you men would sit there and have a beer with it and enjoy that to your fullest. I don't know if the Red Barn is still there in Texas. Now you're going to add your bone broth. And they want us to reduce this. They want us to turn this on high. And watch it, because we're going to reduce it. Yeah, it is. Joyful, good morning,
Joyful Hen. Hi. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is the 14th, isn't it? Yeah, happy you. Uh, okay. Okay, Isaiah. Oh, Siv. Okay. Just scroll by. All right, so we're going to bring this to a boil. We have to reduce this by half. Okay. I poured a whole cup of bone broth, but they say stock. But the bone broth, my bone broth, is actually bones I cooked down very long and in a pressure cooker until I could stab those bones and break them with my bare hands. Thank you, Victor. Okay. After we do this, we're going to add the other stuff. I am going to add that apple cider vinegar. We're going to see what it does. If it messes it up, it's going to be your fault and not mine. May. Hey, listen, just last year I fell into the concrete, hit my face, not one bruise came up. And I had to readjust my fingers because I bent them all the way back. I had to pop them back forward. And now I don't feel the pain in it anymore. It's finally subsided completely, which I was happy about. So you can almost say that my cooking is like, I don't want to be sick, so I'm going to work very hard not to get sick. So I'll use my cooking. Oh, oh God, we're almost at 2 hours still trying to get this thing done. Okay, what comes next after this? Okay, this is it. We're coming down to the end of this. They want, while this is cooking, they want you to add 1 cup of heavy cream. I have to get my other heavy cream out. Dun, 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 how much salt and pepper do you want in this? Okay, we got this. We're going to try apple cider vinegar. Now see, bone broth is a little thicker when you do it my way than the broth that you get in the store. I read it. It mostly had vegetables in it and bone, so I know that they flavored it up. Bone broth really doesn't have much flavor. Oh, Isaiah, either one would be delicious, and you know it would be. Okay, Isaiah. So we're we're going to cook this down. And the mushrooms and onions are going to absorb, and we're going to concentrate the bone broth that I'm using. What you need now is, you're going to need a cup of heavy cream, and you're going to need to get your salt and pepper, and then we'll add the vinegar after. And you know vinegar curdles milk, so we'll see how this is going to go. And you can see it is reducing nicely. And that's what we have to wait for. Yes, I have had deer meat. My mother might have done the deer tenderloin. I haven't bought a deer tenderloin piece yet. All right. That's starting to smell. Okay, well, we'll check it in 20 minutes. Okay, let's see. Does the temperature curl the heavy cream top or just the vinegar? When you make cheese, you sit there and use a white vinegar to sit there and curdle it to get those curdles. So I don't know what it's going to do, but you can burn heavy cream, so you have to keep a very low flame. We're having meatloaf, a stuffed meatloaf. Dean, happy birthday. I think everybody should say happy birthday to Dean. Yeah, D-E-A-N, yeah, Dean. Dino? Yeah, it's his birthday. So happy birthday. Okay, turning my flame way down. I mean, when I say low, I mean very, very, very low. They want you to add salt and pepper, which we're doing right now. My salt was in there. Oh God, I really don't want it. But we'll see what it does. But if it doesn't follow through everything that I know what it's going to do. We have to reduce this very, very slowly. All right, that tastes like soup. They want 1/4 of a cup of sherry, and you tell me I could use apple cider vinegar. If this doesn't work, it's your fault, not mine. No. Paprika, no, but I do know about doing it. I shouldn't say no to these recipes because there's a good chance I've already done them. I just don't remember them. If I don't remember them, there's nothing I can do. So we're going to pray it wasn't a troll. But it sure does taste like cream of mushroom soup. Okay. They want this reduced and thick like cream. That's why I turned the heat so low. I don't want to curdle it. See, when you make cheese, you have to be careful. If it gets too hot, if you hit 150, it curdles. Okay, thank you for that. idea of using apple cider vinegar. Thank you for looking it up for me, because I had never heard of it. I usually have wine in the house, so I wouldn't think of anything like that. But we have to reduce this very, very slowly. It has a lovely flavor. You are absolutely right. Oh, sure. I could just imagine what it tastes like with sherry. Season? No, I'm making meatloaf season. Dean? Yes, I can make a cake. I can't frost worth beans, but that's it. And thank you, Kevin. It's a sour cream sauce, not with tomatoes. This is heavy cream and apple cider vinegar. And thank you, Kevin, for the Valentine wish. Isaiah, there are different ways of thickening up creams. This is a sauce. This is not a gravy. Sauces are different. Each one is done a little differently, and you can mix things and get them thick very easily. But the one thing you cannot do is boil this. And cornstarch does thicken things up, but sometimes you want to cook it slowly and let the flavors mingle, whereas with cornstarch you move faster. Hi, Lily. But I use flour. Sometimes I use eggs for a thickening. Sauces, I've used all sorts of things, believe you me. This is the first time I'm using this combination. It tastes really good. I hope you guys try this recipe. I mean, this whole recipe is really good. So we're just going to get this thick like cream, and then that is it. So it's almost there. It's doing a very nice job. It's actually heating up without coming to boil. If you boil it, the kernels are going to come out right away. Yeah, it's coming out really nice. I really like it. I'm making myself hungry, Lily. What are you talking about? I'm already hungry, and I've got to wait, because I won't eat till about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and it's only 7:40 something. And other people will be, my sons will have different hours. Another one will probably eat around 12, 12:30. The other one will eat about 4. So this is why I do all of this. Well, it depends upon how thick you want the meatloaf slices. My family, if it's a good meatloaf, they'll eat over half of it at one sitting. And they'll go back for seconds. Does that tell you? I haven't even had that, Isaiah. My son just bought a whole bunch of them for me because I can't have coffee. I have chicory root. He just ordered me like 5 or 6. He says it'll be in next week. So I can't have, I only have like maybe 2 or 3 more cups, and that's it. So I'm going to have to stretch it out every other day. Susie, you can cut these recipes in half and make things smaller. Sometimes when I get an exceptional recipe, I call my girlfriend and say, did it come to the fence? Because our fence separates our yard, and I will give her something. So it's good in that fact. If you have somebody you can share dishes that you create or make that you think are exceptional, share them. Listen, a lot can be said in breaking bread. And Christ did say breaking bread is very important. So remember that when you break bread with somebody, he doesn't literally mean just love. He's talking about food. Having it at the table sometimes is a lot better. Because eating is very intimate. I have been at the table with some people I can see down their throat because they chew with their mouth open. Other people, I see the top of their head, and they go with the spaghetti. It's a very bad habit. No, we're gonna have egg noodles with it, and I'm going to cook broccoli with it. I wanted to make potato biscuits, but no show in that. They said egg noodles with this. I said, okay. But I do like the taste of this. Let's see if I can't get it in that. Let's see, what can I put it in? Do I have to sit there? I'm thinking of where I could put the sauce right now. I'm just gonna put it in a bowl if I have a small one. Will that fit? No, it's gonna have to go in the other one. That's it. We got the sauce ready. Done. It's the meatloaf that is not done, but we got the sauce done. Yeah, I don't like people just sitting there and not joining me when I'm eating. Oh yeah, mine's they've gone out. Of course, my mother was old-fashioned, so we still have the table set. And also, for me, I could say it was in the 60s, early 70s when it started going out. But you have to understand, in my parents' home, everything was very strict. Yeah, you swallow a lot of air, Isaiah. Hi, PGE. Terry. Sometimes, if eating alone sometimes is good for you because you don't have the hostility at the table. Hi, Karen, and good morning. We got the mushroom sauce already done. And we're still waiting for the meatloaf. I'm not going to do the egg noodles now. I'm not going to do the broccoli now. That's going to be done later because I have to get the washer stuff going. We're just waiting for the meatloaf now. No, I made a mushroom sauce to go over a meatloaf that's stuffed with mushrooms and spinach. We have a cloudy day today. Yeah, we got an overcast today, some. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, the stuffing it. I made it one time and it fell apart and I wasn't happy with it, but it was good in flavor. So I said, this time I'm going to get a bigger, they wanted a 9x6 loaf pan. And so I ordered it at Amazon. They sent me a 9x5. So I ordered again and I got two 9x5s. And I said, but I did say 9x6 and it did read 9x6. I don't know why they insist. Yeah, beef stroganoff. Some people say, I have some people that like beef stroganoff without the mushrooms, and then I have some people who like it with the mushrooms. And some lady screamed and yelled at me from Europe, where's the mushrooms? I said, I have it with and without. It just depends upon who's at the table and they're making it. So I've had it different ways. I live in New York, Lily. Isaiah, it is. Homemade is much better and more nutritious. I'm sorry, we have to wait for the meatloaf. And then I'm going to reach in there and see what the internal temperature is. And if it's not the right temperature, we're going to have to put it back in for longer. Now, when you do the egg noodles, they say it do, well, however you're going to cook it. I cook mine a little different. They want you then to toss it with a tablespoon of butter before you serve this, because you're going to have egg noodles next to it, and they want that flour, they want that butter flavor throughout your noodles. Susie, you must have come in cold weather when it was really cold. I mean, we're in a heat spell right now, as I say. Hi, Julie. I sit there and I laugh because my friends and I, we know it's still cold outside. We're in the 30s. Today we might see 40. God, it's like having a hot summer day after being 14 below zero. But we've been making fun of the weather. Okay. I'm sorry you have to wait. Let me put some of these things up. We got about 5 minutes. Let me get some of this stuff put up. Oh, I need this. I've got to take care of my yeast. Oh, upstate is beautiful, Isaiah. Thank you, PGE. Where did you get the PEG from? You know, I ask questions. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. Yeah, it was cold. The night temperatures were in the negative. It was gonna Alabama got that cold down there? Oh my God. Well, Joni, happy pre-birthday. Because I won't, I don't know if you'll be here when I do a live. Oh, okay. Hi, Joni. Okay. Nutmeg. 3 minutes to go. Oh no. Yeah, pre-happy birthday, Joni. I am on the very outskirts of the metropolitan area. All right. Matter of fact, I can see New Jersey across the way. Thank you, Karen. To all the lovely ladies, the same to you as well. Happy Valentine's Day. Not all of us are married. Some of us are widowed. Some never married or anything, but we'll wish everyone. Okay, Joni. Because we're going to be making cookies. I have to climb up everywhere. Okay. No, 22 is very cold. Yeah, you have to. I tell people you won't see me. My nose is the only thing sticking out of the pillows. Isaiah, I love Texas. I love the honesty and the open area, the farms, the animals. I just enjoyed all of that. I loved it when the butterflies and the hummingbirds came through, and there's so much respect, you know. In the metropolitan area, there really isn't a lot of respect. It's more
backbiting, rude, crude, and everything else. I've seen young people sit when elderly are standing and they're older than I mean, I'm younger than them, but they look worse than I do, so I'll get up and give my seat to them. It's just that you just don't see the common courtesy. So Texas, I have to say, has a better twing in my heart. Oh, I love flowers. Listen, I'm a girl. What can I say? Exactly. Keep everything covered up, but your eyes, Susie. Women show their hair. They like to show their ankles. Young ones like to show everything. Not their modesty, but uh, but cover everything up but your eyes. That's a Muslim. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. There's a point where, yes, as the young people say, this is my body. Yes, it is. But also, if you dress like a whore and you're treated like a whore or you get raped, you can't complain. So there is a modesty that goes along with dressing accordingly. Ray, you can. I love flowers. Susie. Hi, Blitz. At plants? What? Somebody was saying cover everything up but the eyes. No. The bodies are beautiful. But if you're going to, like I say, if you act like a whore, you dress like a whore, you're going to be treated like a whore, and it's not going to work. It's just that way. People my age know that we only go so far in our dress, and that's far enough. Yeah. I'll be right back. I have to climb to put this up. Oh, I have to feed my yeast. Are you ready to check this now? Oh no, when I go out in the cold, believe you me, I am bundled. Something about getting older makes you colder. I was already cold when I came up here, but God. Okay. Oh, I knew you were going to do this. I can tell you right now it's not done, but I'll test it. No, I'm only at 116. That's going to be cooking for a while. Do put up a hand underneath that for you. All right, so I might as well tell you how this is going to go because other than that, it's going to be like 2 hours here. What they want you to do is get it up to 160. All right. Then it has to cool a bit in the pan. All right. I'll even read it so you know how to serve it. You can pick your own vegetable that you want, but like I said, I'm going to use broccoli. They want you to prepare the egg noodles, all right, according to the instructions, but when you drain them, transfer to a serving bowl. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to use stock when I cook my pasta, so I'll have more nutrients in there. Now, then they want you to toss with a tablespoon of butter, melted butter. You melt the butter and pour it over your pasta. You're stressing, they want you to serve it this way. All right. Then add your salt and pepper. Don't add the salt into the water or anything. They want you to add the salt and pepper after the egg noodles have cooked and you have poured a tablespoon of melted butter over them and toss them. Then they want you to unmold the meatloaf onto a large serving platter and you're going to cut it into slices, you see? Now, to place on the serving plates, you place it on serving plates and spoon the sauce around the meatloaf and serve with the egg noodles. Okay? That's how it's done. So now you know how it's going to be done. I think it's the mother white So now you know how to serve it, but I'm going to serve mine with broccoli. I will slice it after it sets. Let it set 10 to 15 minutes before you cut it. If you cut it when it's hot, the fluids are still boiling. You have to give them 15 minutes. So when you put it on the serving platter, realize, or if you want to leave it in the pan for 15 minutes before you take it out, but it's got to sit for 15 minutes. If you take it out right away or cut it, it's going to fall apart. That's not what you want to do, okay? And that's it. I'm going to have to say bye now because I've got other things I have to do, okay? You are welcome, Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah, listen, I want all of you to have a good day today. I'll see you later this afternoon because I really want to make those cookies. But right now I've got to go get my wash going. Lily, you've got a right frame of mind. So listen, take care. I really mean it. And if you're subscribed, you'll know when I go live. But I'm going to be going live sometime this afternoon after I throw all my sons out of the house so I can make cookies. And we'll make them the correct way instead of that way. And I will show you what a lace cookie is so you understand why lace cookies cannot have fruits and nuts and things added to them, which will help you have a better understanding. Okay? So bye-bye for now.